Hi, Papa Jaeger here. As you know, my memoir, Stolen, Love and Loss in the Time of COVID, will be released by Unsolicited Press in September. My memoir is about my dad's death from COVID and the grieving process that followed. 5 years ago today, I saw my father for the very last time. On March 27th, 2020, I wrote, "It's never good when a phone call wakes you in the middle of the night. At 4:33, my phone rang. I bolted up in bed and answered it, knowing immediately it was my mom. My dad was worse. He had the chills. He was shaking uncontrollably. But can he breathe? I asked, frantic. Yes, my mother assured me, but he needs to go to the hospital. We called an ambulance. They won't take him to Columbia Presbyterian. They'll only take him to the closest one. I'm on my way. I got a shower, and I'll get in the car." "Don't panic," my mother said as I hung up the phone. But it was too late. I was already panicking. An ambulance would have taken my father to Elmhurst. I didn't want him there. Neither did my mother. It's a public hospital. Yesterday, 13 people died at that hospital. They are already overrun with coronavirus patients. My parents have always gone to Columbia Presbyterian. It's where their doctor is. They have Dad's records. We knew he had that working to his advantage. They are also one of the top hospitals in the nation. I was on the road by 5. There was no traffic. There were lots of sucky things about this pandemic, but the lack of traffic is something I could get used to. Traveling over the bridges without concern of how bad the backup will be is blissful, or would be, if circumstances were different. But the minute I arrived at my parents' house, it was evident that my dad was not breathing well. He struggled to get down the stairs, moving down on his butt instead of his feet. He was visibly shaking. His speech was even more slurred than yesterday. He was barely coherent. My mother did not want me to get near him because of the virus. He was about to get into my car, where exposure was unavoidable, but they were still trying to protect me. My mom put gloves on his hands and a mask on his face, construction masks that she had brought years ago in an attempt to quell her allergies when gardening. Forget what you see in the news. This is the face of the coronavirus. A 10-year-old curled up on the couch crying. A beloved grandson dressed up like a gangster and shooting imaginary enemies because he can't kill the real one. A 10-year-old boy whose heart is breaking.